What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I'm back with another Out of the Theater review. Now, tonight, I actually went to see 3 movies, but the third one is the new release for this week, the biggest new release of the week, which is Venom: The Last Dance. This is the third and final movie in the Tom Hardy Venom trilogy. So I'm going to give you my 2 cents, but before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Also, if you could just leave me a thumbs up, helps the video out. And leave me a comment. Did you see it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you not want to see it? Do you want to see it? I want to know your thoughts as well. Quick backstory as far as Venom movies are concerned. I thought the first one was pretty fun. You know, I had a good time with it back when it came out. I remember going to the theater and being like, hey, that was better than I thought it was going to be. And then the Carnage one, Let There Be Carnage, I honestly didn't like it that much. I saw it once at the theater and then I've never revisited it or wanted to revisit it. I just really didn't care. Going into this one, I had the lowest of expectations. I thought all the trailers were not that good. And I just, kind of coming off of Let There Be Carnage, I was like, I don't really care that much. But I'm going to give it a fair shot because I do love Tom Hardy. So I'll pretty much see any movie he's in, even if I didn't like the one before it. So yeah, I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. As far as this movie is concerned, it's a mixed bag for me. As far as the positives, I thought the third act was really good. There's not a ton of action in this movie. There's like 2 little action scenes that involve this monster thing from outer space that's coming to like find Venom. They're kind of short, but they're graphic. Actually, this is a really graphic PG-13 movie. There's a lot of blood and blood spraying everywhere. Like this monster, this is not really a spoiler. When it eats people, it like sprays the blood out of the back of its head and it shows it like a bunch of times. So it was pretty violent. I like that. That's a plus. There's just like these 2 smaller kind of action scenes and they're okay. But the third act has a big set piece that's set at Area 51. And that was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. You get a lot of symbiote action. You get these big monster things. You get in the trailer, you might have seen clips of like him riding a motorcycle. That is all from that third act. The motorcycle chase scene is actually a lot of fun. So I thought, without giving away too much, because this is spoiler free, I thought that scene and that whole set piece was a lot of fun. Good third act. Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I like him as far as the performance. My problem with the character is not that interesting in these movies. At this point, we're 3 movies in. There's nothing for him to do other than just like walk around and Venom to talk in his mind. And he's trying to get to New York the whole movie. And that's it. He has no relationships with people. Like Michelle Williams was in the first movie. Not here, nowhere, nothing, no mention. I mean, they kind of mention stuff here and there. Venom does, but it is whatever. Also, the writing is weird because they specifically wrote in a reason why Venom can't like come out too much, like take over Eddie Brock's body. So like he could come out as like a little talking head or he could come out as like some arms, but he can't like be in the Venom form that much. And while I appreciate the fact that they wrote it into the script, it just felt like an excuse to not have to shoot a lot of Venom stuff, which is disappointing in a movie about Venom. You know what I mean? Like you mostly just have Eddie Brock walking around and sometimes Venom's head and then like the voiceover of him. So I don't know, which, that happens in all the movies, but there's way more like Venom action in those 2 than this one. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but they do make up for it with a couple of things, like I said, in that third act that I won't spoil. Other than that, the characters are not that interesting. Nobody's really stand out. Like Chiwetel Ejiofor is a great actor. He just plays general guy, who wants to kill people and stop the aliens. He hates the aliens. You have Juno Temple in this as another scientist who has a really weird backstory that it's weird. When they show her like a little flashback, I was like, what the heck is that? So that was weird. However, I can't help but feel like I was moderately entertained throughout most of it. Some of the humor works. Some of it doesn't work. There's a lot of parts that are supposed to be funny. Like there's this running gag about Eddie Brock losing his shoes all the time. I didn't laugh once, but they went to it like 8 times. So I don't know. That wasn't that funny, but there's some good humor. There's some not so good humor. There's a little bit of action that's whatever, but then there's one big set piece. But at the end of the day, it's a very mid movie. Like, it's just not that great. I didn't hate it. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of here. But it's just like fluff. I don't know. It didn't do much. The villain is Null. He's mentioned in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler again. And he's one of those villains that's just like off in the distance and they never really show him. And it's just a big bug. Most of the time, it's this big bug thing. So I don't know. I didn't love it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. I don't think it's that great. It sucks. I mean, the franchise is not great in general, but it sucks that we're never going to get like a proper Eddie Brock Spider-Man movie with Venom in it, but it is what it is. 4 out of 10 from me. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on Venom: The Last Dance. I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review, and until then, take it easy.